fresh blueberries are one of the highest fruits in antioxidants. Welcome to Naturally Gourmet. I'm Karen Houghton, and joining me today is Dr. Wes Youngberg.
Glad to be here, Karen.
And we have a special guest, my son,
Hi,
Danny
Mom.
Houghton. We're going to be doing Italian foods today, and these recipes are plant-based, so they have no cholesterol in them. And you'll be amazed if you make these recipes yourself at home. You won't be able to tell the difference. So we're going to get started with stuffed shells, and Danny's going to show you how to make tofu cottage cheese.
The thing to start with tofu cottage cheese are 2 cubes of tofu, and you want to make sure that they're very well drained. And then you want to start by mashing them. What happens is if you leave too much water in, it changes the texture of the cottage cheese once you're done. So you're going to start by making sure they're well drained and really try and mash it up here. So that's how we're going to start.
I got a feeling you've done this before, Danny.
I've done it a couple times. My mom teaches these classes here in our community, and I've lost count how many times I've done this for you, Mom, but it is one of my favorite recipes. The key thing to remember is to make sure that you have the water drained, because it changes the texture of the tofu cottage cheese if you have too much water in it.
I've always involved our boys in my cooking classes because I think it's good to have children learning how to cook when they're young, and you can teach them how to make healthy food so that they'll do that the rest of their lives.
What we're going to be doing next here is adding 2 1/4 tablespoons of onion powder. You want to make sure that it's the onion powder and not the onion salt. I've done that 1 or 2 times, and there is a difference between the two. You definitely don't want to have the salt. So after we have that, then we look at the salt itself, and we put in 1 1/2 teaspoons. I've got to keep those straight too. I've got 1 there, and then here's our half, the salt. Then we look at the garlic salt, and we have 1/2 teaspoon there.
You know, Danny, just recently researchers out of Perth, Australia found that the onions in particular were really good for hay fever. So those of us who struggle maybe with a little breathlessness, maybe playing basketball like we enjoy, but somebody just walking up the stairs and having a hard time with their breathing, eating onions or onions powder, which is concentrated onions, is really good for the lungs.
Wow.
And kind of get your breath back. So
yeah, you want to make sure you do that when you're playing basketball like we do.
Especially against you.
The next thing we put in is better than sour cream. And better than sour cream is actually a sour cream substitute, and it adds a bit of cream to the tofu cottage cheese. Just kind of pull it out here.
There goes the oven.
Sounds like...
And this means that we're getting a form of sour cream that doesn't have any cholesterol, and especially the oxidized cholesterol, which of course is bad for the arteries and causes plaque buildup.
So you can see it's starting to kind of take shape here. I know that we still need some of those chives you were chopping, Mom.
Yes, we'll throw the chives in.
Okay.
You can use fresh chives or you can use dried chives, whatever you happen to have on hand, but the chives give it a really nice flavor.
And then we kind of finish it off with a couple squeezes of lemon. I actually love lemon. Ooh. And this brings a really nice taste and a bit of a zest.
Could you hand me
as
this
well.
Spaghetti sauce over there?
There we go.
Thank you.
So we'll mix that in, and just like downtown. This is really nice to be able to use, you know, for many of your different Italian dishes like lasagna, or you know, if you're going to be making manicotti, or in this case we're going to be doing stuffed shells. But it's a really nice substitute for that cheese that is so often used.
So now we're going to start stuffing these shells, and we put them in the baking dish, and then you bake them for about a half an hour at 350. You always put a little bit of the sauce in the bottom of the pan so it doesn't get too dry.
Keeps it nice and moist.
And then we'll just start stuffing these shells like this.
I can help you here, Mom.
Fill the shell with the tofu cottage cheese and put it in the dish. And then we just cover it with some sauce. And then stick it in the oven for just 30 minutes and your meal is ready.
I don't know if some of you, and sometimes when you're cooking for your family and trying to cook healthfully, have one or two dissenters in your family that don't tend to like health food. But that person in our family is my brother Jamie. And what often happens is my mom's very clever actually when she makes the.
He's telling family secrets
I'm
now.
in trouble. My brother wishes, I'm sure, he could be here to defend himself. But what happens is she'll just make the food and not tell my brother that it's actually healthy. You know, in the case of the stuffed shells, for example, that we have a tofu cottage cheese instead of the instead of actual ricotta cheese. And you know, my brother actually just tear right through it, eat 3 or 4 of them before he realizes, hey, this is a little different, maybe the texture or something. And of course, after he's eaten 3 or 4 and enjoyed them, it's hard for him to say, hey, I want the regular, but.
So then you just surprise him at the end and tell him, guess what? Wes, I want you to give that a try, and Danny, I'm
That looks really good.
I'll put a little sauce on top
You know,
of these ones.
you can use any marinara sauce that you like. We tend to use one that has green and black olives in it, and it's really very tasty.
I like it because it's a little bit saltier from the olives.
That really tastes good.
Good. Here's some for you, Danny.
Thanks, Mom. Let me just finish here.
You know, one of the great values of this is that after 20 years of practice, I've realized that one of the biggest problems with my patients who have digestive concerns is because of dairy products. You get them off dairy, they do a lot better with reflux or bloating or other type of digestive problems. I can't tell the difference between this and ricotta cheese. This is really good.
The texture's so nice.
So
isn't
you're
it?
getting a high protein, healthy fat food without the saturated fat, which is bad for the heart, and without the things in dairy that actually cause digestive problems.
And so many people have allergies, you know, sneezing and all kinds of allergies to dairy products, and you don't have that with this recipe. So anyway, I hope you'll give this recipe a try. And don't go too far. We're going to be back in just a minute.
Great, great taste, Mom.
Karen Houghton, host of the TV series Naturally Gourmet, has developed a wonderful cookbook from her years of experience preparing tasty and healthy meals from a plant-based diet. In her cookbook Naturally Gourmet, Karen features a wide variety of recipes, from baked breads to sumptuous soups, from excellent entrees to delightful desserts.
I'm Karen Houghton, and if you've been enjoying these programs, I want to tell you about our new website, www.naturallygourmet.com. At that website, we have available DVDs, full set of them from all these cooking shows. We also have available a cookbook called Naturally Gourmet with more recipes and more health information.
Order Naturally Gourmet today for only $24.99 plus shipping and handling at naturallygourmet.com or call 760-723-8082. That's 760-723-8082. Your adventure into healthy living is only a phone call away.